Hello dear students, good evening all. Today we'll have a discussion on the other module called syllogisms. Syllogisms. Very simple concept of syllogism, how the questions of syllogisms are given and how can we tackle those questions, we'll try to understand in this session. So basically syllogisms questions are given with these four particular statements. So please try to understand this and I suggest you to solve syllogism questions just by using the diagrammatic approach. So drawing the diagram and proceeding with the answer chains. So how the questions of syllogisms are given, how can we solve the questions which are related to syllogisms, we'll try to understand now. So we are going to come across with these kind of statements. What is a syllogism question which you are going to see is, you are going to have a question pattern in such a way that you are going to see two statements in the question. Question is given with the two statements. And it is going to have two conclusions, namely number one and number two. So going to have two statements followed by two conclusions will be given. You have to take the two statements need to be true. You have to assume that the two statements are going to be true, even though they seems to be variant from common knowing. If you take an example, if you observe the question, all books are pens, all pens are pencils. These are the two statements. See, whatever the statements which they are going to give, you have to assume or you have to treat them as a fact statements as per the given information. Why? Because you might be having a question, sir, how come books will become pens? How come pens will become pencils? So that's the reason they just given this statement. So what is the statement which you have to remember is, you have to treat that the given statements are going to be true. Given statements are going to be true. And read the conclusions which are given. So you are going to have five option choices. After reading your conclusions, decide which of the following is going to be the correct answer. That means, for example, if you see the question like this, all books are pens, all pens are pencils. So you have a question like this, and you have the conclusions here. So by reading these conclusions, you have to decide which of the conclusion will follows. If conclusion one follows, but two is not following, then you can mark the answer choice as only conclusion one follows. Only conclusion one follows. So for example, if you after reading the conclusions you realize that only conclusion 2 follows, then you can mark the answer choice as option B, only conclusion 2 follows. Sometimes you can see conclusion 1 follows or otherwise conclusion 2 follows. So that time we can mark the answer choice either 1 or 2 follows. If 1 follows, 2 should not follow. If 2 follows, 1 should not follow. So in that case you can go for option C. So if both the conclusions are not following, then you can go for, like, conclusion 1 is not following, conclusion 2 is not following, then that time you can mark your answer choice as going to be option D, that is neither 1 or not 2 follows. So if both the conclusions are following, then you can go for the answer choice as going to be option E, that is going to be both 1 and 2 follows. So it's not always given in a specific order. As per your question which you are going to see, the option choices you can mark accordingly. Okay, so this is what you have to know. And when you look at the statements, so here all pens are books and some pencils, and these type of statements we are able to see. So in order to tackle these questions, you should be able to understand how can we draw the diagram using the given statements. If you are capable of drawing the diagram using the given statements, you can comfortably able to solve these questions. So look at the first statement. So what is the first statement? All A's are B's. All A's are B's. How can we take this in the form of a diagram? All A's are B's. How can we take this in the form of a diagram? All A's are B's means, so if you assume this is A's, so we have all A's or B's. So all these A's are going to be B's. This is the meaning of all A's or B's. All A's or B's. We can represent as like this. Some A's are B's. So that means you can treat this is going to be A's sum of these A's, like these sum of the A's are going to be B's. So this is some A's are B's. You can represent like this. Some A's are not B's. That means if you treat these as A's, so some of the A's, some of the A's, like these A's are not B's. So this is B's, some of the A's are not B's. That's the meaning of it. And no A is B. So if you assume this is A and this is B, no A is B can be taken as like this. So A and B are two different sets. There is no intersection between them. This is the meaning of the statements. This is how you can put them in the form of a diagram. Very simple. Syllogisms is a very simple concept. If you can draw the diagram properly, you can able to tackle the questions very easily. So that's is the data which is required. Let's have a glance on the questions which are projected. So if you observe the first question which is available. So what is the question? All books are pens. All books are pens. So you can just treat that in the form of a diagram. All books are pens. So I'm just taking books as like this. As per the data, all these books are going to be pens. So we can treat all books are pens as like this. Second statement, all pens are pencils. All pens are pencils. All pens are pencils. You can take the second statement as like this. All pens are pencils. So now, as per the information, we are able to see the conclusion. So this is a statements. I'm just keeping that statements as like this. It's a diagram which I'm able to draw using the given statements. Now you can read the conclusions. What is the first conclusion? All books are pens. Is that all books are pencils? Is that the correct conclusion or not? You just try to check out. All books are pencils. All books are pencils. So if you observe, pencils is the larger circle. Books is inside it. So definitely all books are pencils is going to be a correct conclusion. You can say that's correct one. All pencils are some pencils are pens. Some pencils are pens. So you can just observe what is pens region. This is a pens region. This is a pens region. So as per the data, some of the pencils. So these pencils are going to be pens. Yes, that's also a true statement. Some of the pencils are going to be pencils. So all these are pencils. So some of these are going to be pencils. These pencils are going to be act like a pens also. So some of the pencils are pens is also going to be a true conclusion. So what we can say as per the given statements, as per the given statement, all books are pens and all pens are pencils. As per the given statement, all books are pencils is going to be a correct statement. All these books are pencils. Some of the pencils are pens. So these are the pencils. These are the pencils. Some of the pencils are going to be pens. So that's also a correct conclusion. So because we are able to see conclusion 1 and conclusion 2 follows, we can say the answer choice for the question is going to be both 1 and 2 follows, which is available as option E. You can mark it as answer choice. Which is available as option E. You can mark it as answer choice. So that's how you have to solve these questions. Let's look at the one more question which is available on the screen. So the question here is some of the trees, all the trees are gardens. Okay. So what is the first statement we are able to see? All the trees are gardens. All the trees are gardens means we can say if you assume these are the trees, all these trees are going to be gardens. This is the first statement which is given. Some trees are fruits. Some trees are fruits. So I'm just taking first thing as like this. All the trees are gardens. I'm taking like this. I'm taking this as a trees. All these trees are going to be gardens. So we have a second statement which is trying to say that some of the trees are going to be fruits. Some of the trees are going to be fruits. So now you have the conclusions. Let's read the conclusions and decide what is the proper conclusion here. So the first conclusion is some trees are fruits. Some trees are fruits. This is going to be a correct conclusion. All gardens are fruits. So gardens are here, fruits are here. How come all gardens will become fruits? That's not going to be a proper conclusion. So only the conclusion 1 follows. You can mark the answer choice as going to be conclusion 1 follows. Conclusion 1 follows means what is the option we can elect? Conclusion 1 follows means we can mark the answer choice as option A. So you can mark it as option A here. So that's how we have to tackle the question. Let's look at one more question which is available on the screen. The question is projected in such a way that all the cats are dogs. All the cats are dogs. So let me take, these are the cats. All these cats are going to be dogs. Now, some dogs are lions. Some dogs are lions. So I'm just taking cats is here, dogs here, dogs is here. Some dogs are lions. So some of the dogs are lions. I'm drawing lines. Let me read the conclusions here. All dogs are cats. Is that correct statement? All dogs are cats. All dogs, no. Some cats are dogs is a correct statement, but all dogs are cats is a wrong statement because dogs is a larger circle. Cats is inside it. So all dogs are not going to be cats. So that's definitely a wrong conclusion. And all lions are cats. So let me understand. Lions are here, cats are here. This is not possible. But let me look at the second statement which is given. Some dogs are lions. That means, can I keep some dogs are lions? So I am trying to keep lions somewhere inside the dogs, right? So I can also keep like this. It's not violating your condition or statement at all. So some dogs are lions. So some of these dogs, I'm taking it as lions. So now you just read the second conclusion here. Okay, what is the second conclusion? All lions are cats. Is that a true statement? Yes, for sure. So definitely second conclusion is correct. So we can say conclusion 2 follows. So what you need to do is you just try to make your conclusion as a possible correct conclusion by looking at the statements. So don't blindly take it as a wrong conclusion. Just try to understand the statements. Not violating the statement, it is following. You can mark it as answer choice. Let's look at the next question which is available on the screen. So you have a question, all dates or times. So all dates or times. All dates or times means how can we take these are the dates, all these dates are going to be times. All times are watches. I am drawing like this. Now look at some of the watches or dates. Is that the correct conclusion? Some of the watches or dates. So yes. So some of these watches. This inner one is out is there in the larger one. So some of these watches are going to be dates. Yes, for sure, this is a correct conclusion. Sometimes are dates. So some of the times are dates because this is all indicating the times. So these are some of the times are going to be dates. This is also correct conclusion. So we can say conclusion 1 and conclusion 2 follows. You can mark the answer choice as 1 and 2 follows. You can mark the answer choice as 1 and 2 follows. Mark it as that. So 1 and 2 follows means what is the option choice which you are going to elect? So as per the given option choice, if 1 and 2 follows, you can go for the answer choice as option E. Okay, so that's how you can able to see the question which is available. Let's take one more question just for understanding purpose. All rooms are boxes, no box is a table. So let me take it in the form of a diagram. All rooms are boxes. So I'm just taking rooms like this. All these rooms are going to be boxes. And no box is a table. So box and table should not overlap. These two are two disjoints set. So there is no overlapping between them. So now you can just observe the conclusions which are projected here. So if you observe the conclusion 1, what is the conclusion 1? No room is a table. No room is a table. So no room is a table. Is that a correct conclusion? Yes, for sure. Because rooms is here, tables is here. So no room is a table is going to be a correct conclusion. And some rooms are table. How come some rooms will become tables? Rooms are here, tables are here. So we can definitely say some rooms are table is a wrong conclusion. So what we can say using this only conclusion 1 follows, conclusion 1 follows. You can mark the answer choice as conclusion 1 follows. Conclusion 1 follows is available as option A. You can mark it as answer choice. You can mark it as answer. So I hope you are able to follow this. So let's look at the next question which is available on the screen. Please observe the question which is there. Look at the question. So all tests or exams, all tests or exams. So you can just take test is here and exam is here. So all test or exam, that's a first statement. What is the second statement? No test is a result. No test is a result. I'm just taking like this. No test is a result. So this is one thing which I'm trying to draw the diagram using the given data. So let's look at all tests are exam. So I'm just taking test like this. All these tests are exams. No test is a result. No test is a result. That means I can take results here. I can take results here. So there's also one more possible diagram. So diagram 2 and diagram 1. I'm trying to take the possibilities of the diagram. Let me go with the conclusions. By looking at the diagram 1, so look at the conclusions. Some exams are results. So these exams, some exams are results. So is that a correct statement? So using that, first one is wrong. No exam is a result. Yes, the second one is correct. First one is correct and second one is wrong. First one is wrong, second one is correct. Look at the second diagram. As per the second diagram, some exams are results. Is that a correct conclusion? Yes, the first one is correct. And no exam is a result. No exam is a result. No exam and result are having the overlap. This is a wrong. So we can say by using the diagram 1, conclusion 2 follows, diagram 2, conclusion 1 follows. So that's the reason we can mark the answer choice as either 1 or 2 follows. Either 1 or 2 follows means you can say either 1 or 2 follows. That's option C. So, and even by looking at the diagram, some exams are results and no exam is a result. Some exams are results and no exam is a result. So you can observe these two are going to be so inverse statements. Some exams are results. If this is correct, no exam is a result is a wrong. No exam is a result if it is correct. No exam is a result if it is a correct. Then first one is wrong. So that's the reason we can mark the answer choice as going to be option. We can mark the answer choice as going to be option C. Look at the next question which is available on the screen. So some toys are dolls. So some toys are dolls. I'm taking like this. No joker is a toy. No joker is a toy. So I'm taking like this. Or otherwise, we can also take like this, right? Some toys are dogs and no toy is a joker. We can take like this also, right? So look at the first diagram and conclude. No doll is a joker. Yes, it's a first one is a correct conclusion. Some dolls are jokers. Second one is a wrong conclusion. Look at the diagram 2. No doll is a joker. The first one is wrong conclusion. Second one, some dolls are jokers. Yes, some dolls are jokers. It's a correct one. So that means here also we can say either 1 or 2 follows. If 1 follows, 2 should not follow. If 2 follows, 1 should not follow. That's the answer choice for this. So that's how you can able to see the questions which are related to it. So look at the next question just for the practice purpose. Some bikes are trucks. All trucks are cars. So you can observe some bikes are trucks. So I'm just taking bikes here. Some of the bikes are trucks. All the trucks are cars. All these trucks are going to be cars. So this is the data. Some cars are trucks. Some cars are trucks. Is that the correct statement? Yes, for sure. No car is a truck. It's a wrong statement. So what we can say, conclusion 1 is correct. You can mark the answer as conclusion 1 follows. So conclusion 1 follows means we can mark it as option A. Look at the next. So that's how you can able to see the questions which are related to syllogisms. We'll look at the other chapter which is related to logical reasoning. That's nothing but problems which are related to dice. So how the questions which are related to dice are given and how can we tackle those questions, we'll try to understand. Basically, dice problems are given in such a way that we are going to have a questions which are related to dice. They will be a dice will be given, and they are going to ask us to find out the opposite face of that particular dice. So whenever you see any question which is related to dice, you are going to have a question of finding the opposite face. And basically you can see three different types of questions here. What are the three types of questions is, the first one is, you are going to have a question where three or four different orientations of a dice is given. We have to find out what is the opposite face of so and so particular dice. Or otherwise, we are going to have a question where two different orientations of a dice is given. We have to find out what is the opposite face of so and so particular dice. So these are the type of questions which you can see whenever a dice is given opposite face. These are the type of questions which you can see. Look at the first question which is available on the screen. Try to answer the question. What is the face opposite to 6? So before we are proceeding with the solution of the question, first of all, we'll try to understand how the three or four different orientations of a dice are given. So before we are solving the question which is related to dice problems, we'll try to understand what is the meaning of opposite side. So if you can understand the meaning of opposite side, you can easily solve the questions. So you are able to see the question which is projected as like this. They are asking us to find out what is the opposite to the face 6. So in order to solve this question, what we can do is, so they are asking us to find out the opposite to the face 6. If you observe the diagram which is given, so in this diagram, you are able to see number 6, they are expecting us to find out the face opposite to number 6. So This 6 is available here. 6 is available here. So opposite to number 6 means the 6 will be, that means the face which is at the bottom, they are asking. The face which is at the bottom, they are asking. So opposite to the phase 6 is the question. Opposite to the phase 6 is the question. So visualizing what is at the bottom is going to be difficult task. So that's the reason what I suggest you to do is whenever you have any question which is related to dice problem, and especially question which is related to 3 or 4 different orientations of a die. Whenever you see the question which is related to opposite phase, so try to understand opposite is nothing but so for this opposite is nothing but the one which is at the bottom, right? So finding the opposite face is not going to be possible directly, so because we cannot able to tilt it and see. So because of that reason, one single die in different angles you are going to see as a question. That means 3 or 4 different orientations of a dice is given, so they are going to project the question based on that. So what you have to understand is for any particular dice, as per the figure which is given, we can easily find out the adjacent one. For example, if you have a numbers like this, every dice is numbered from 1 to 6. So for the number 5, what are the adjacent ones? So 1 is adjacent to 5, 3 is adjacent to 5. So we can say 1 and 3 are going to be adjacent. So for any question, finding adjacent is easy. So, and what is opposite is nothing but other than adjacent sides. So I'm trying to define a statement here. Opposite is nothing but other than adjacent sides. So that means for any particular dice, if they are expecting us to find out the opposite one, for example, for this, what is opposite? So what are adjacent to this? So for this particular phase, adjacent are nothing but for everything you are going to see 4 faces. For one particular face I'm talking, 4 faces are going to be adjacent, remaining one face is going to be opposite. So they are asking opposite to do so and so, we just need to find out. So in order to find out opposite, instead of find out opposite, try to find out adjacent. Other than this adjacent sides will be treated as opposite. Look at what is opposite to the phase 6 is a question. So if you observe, 6 is available here. So finding opposite directly is going to be time consuming and visualization will cannot give the answer. That's the reason you try to find out the adjacent ones to the 6. For 6, what are adjacent? 2 is adjacent here, 3 is adjacent here. And for 6, what are adjacent? 2 is adjacent, 4 is adjacent. For 6, what are adjacent? 4 is adjacent, 5 is adjacent. So 2, 3, 4, 5 are adjacent to this. So whatever is a leftover number is there, that leftover number will be treated as opposite. So here the question is, what is opposite to phase 6 is a question. Opposite to phase 6, there is number 1. Opposite to phase 6, there is number 1. You can mark the answer choice as going to be 1 here. You can mark the answer choice as going to be 1. So similar. So whatever the question which you are going to see under this model, like under the first model. So what is the first model? 3 or 4 different orientations of a dice is given. So whenever they are asking the opposite side. So not only this, every question of all the 3, you are going to have a question on opposite side. So when you have 3 or 4 different orientations of a die, so instead of finding opposite, finding adjacent is easy. So whatever the question which is there, so find opposite to 6, find opposite to 1. So instead of finding opposite to 6, you try to find out what are adjacent to 6. Other than adjacent sides will be treated as opposite. Other than adjacent sides will be treated as opposite. You can use this statement in solving. That's what we have done here. So they are asking opposite to 6. So 6 adjacent are 2, 3, and 6 adjacent are 2, 4, 6 adjacent are 4, 5. So these are all adjacent sides to the 6. What is opposite to 6? Opposite to 6, there is a number. Opposite to 6, there is a number 1. Look at the next question which is available on the screen. Look at the next question which is available on the screen. They are asking us to find out what is opposite to 6 here. So question is given in such a way that three different orientations or three different positions of XYZ of one particular dice is given. One particular dice is given. So they are expecting us to find out. What is opposite to the 6. So they are asking us to find out 6 opposite. So what you do is, instead of finding opposite to 6, for the number 6, what are adjacent, first try to find. So what are adjacent to 6? Here 6 is not available in the diagram 1. In the diagram 2, we are able to see 3, 4 are adjacent. In the diagram 3, we are able to see 2 and 5 are going to be adjacent. 2 and 5 are adjacent. So for any number, 4 are adjacent, remaining 1 is opposite. So for 6, 3, 4, 2, 5 are adjacent. What is the leftover number? 1. So 1 is a number which is definitely opposite to it. So we can say answer choice for the question is going to be 1. Answer choice for the question is going to be 1. Let's look at the next question which is available on the screen. Which digit So if you observe here, what is the face opposite to 4 is the question. So if you observe 4 is not available at all. So they are asking what is face opposite to 4. So, and if you observe previously, we are able to see 3 orientations or 4 orientations of a dice. Now we are able to see only 2 orientations of a dice. So we have to find out the opposite face of that particular. So you can just observe the question now. Which digit will appear on the face opposite to the face with number 4? Opposite to the face with number 4. So what I can suggest when you have any question which is related to 2 dice. Which digit is going to be the face opposite to the 4? Whenever you have any 2 dice, see, look at, if 2 dice questions are given, what you do is, whenever you see 2 dice questions, first of all observe in these 2 dice, is one number is common, or 2 numbers are common. Is one number is common or 2 numbers are common? First you try to understand. Here, if it is one number is common, for example, 3 is common in these two. So if one number is common, you try to go with the orientation method. Orientation method means here we are able to see 3. So if you see 3, after 3, what is the number? 1. After 1, what is the number? 2. Look at the next one. If you see 3, what is the number? 5. What is the number next to it? 6. So from this data, we can say 2 opposite is going to be 6, 1 opposite is going to be 5, 3 opposite cannot be 3. It should be some other number. What is that number? It should be 4. 3 opposite, we cannot say it as 3. It should be some other number. So I'm just taking it as 4. That would be the answer choice. So now what is opposite to 4 is a question. 4 opposite is 3, 1 opposite is 5, 2 opposite is 6. Like that you can find any. For example, the same question is having two numbers are common. Two numbers are common means, for example, I'm trying to tell you an example data because this might helpful when we are solving. For example, these are the dice given. So what are the numbers common? 1 and 3 are common. 1 and 3 are common. Whenever two numbers are common, the leftover sides are opposite with each other. That means 5 and 6 are opposite. So whenever you have any two dice question, first of all, these two dice questions are classified into two types. Observe whether one number is common or two numbers are common. If one number is common, what we can do is go with the orientation method. After 3, we are able to see 1. After 1, there is 2. After 3, we are able to see 5. After 5, there is 6. That means we can say 2 and 6 are opposite, 1 and 5 are opposite. 3 opposite, we cannot see 3. It should be the other number. We can say answer is 4. Look at the next question. Find the face opposite to 2, just for the practice purpose. Find the face opposite to 2. So this is a diagram 1, this is a diagram 2, this is a diagram 3. 3 orientations of a dice is given. So do remember one important point, my dear students. It's not necessary that you have to take all the diagrams into the scenario. You can take any one of the diagrams as per your comfort. Because you have a strategy when we have 3 diagrams with you. You have a strategy when you have only 2 diagrams with you. So you can just use the best strategy which can give you the answer choice faster. So here the question is talking about what is opposite to 2. So if you observe diagram number 1 and diagram number 3, what is common in these two? 1 and 4. Two numbers are common in these two. If two numbers are common, leftover faces are going to be opposite. That means 6 opposite, there is a number 2. Look at the next question. So what is a number opposite to 4 is a question. What is a number opposite to 4 is a question. So how can we solve? So just look at, we have a diagram 1, diagram 2, diagram 3. If you observe the diagram 1, and diagram 3, diagram 1 and diagram 3. You can observe this is 4, this is 2, this is 6, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. What is the number common in these two? 4 is common in these two. How many numbers are common? One number is common. And I'm taking 2 dice. After 4, what is the number? 6. After 6, what is the number? 2. Look at here. After 4, what is the number? After 4, we have seen 3. After 3, there is a number 5. So 2 and 5 are opposite. We should not see 4. It should be some other number. That must be 1. So 4 opposite is 1. So here the question is, what is opposite to 4? Mark your answer choice. Opposite to 4, there is a number 1. That's how you can able to tackle. Look at the next question. So please observe the question, try to tell me the answer. I'm looking for your response. Anyways, I'll help you out in solving the question. So what is opposite to number 6 is the question. Please observe this diagram. There's the first one, second one, third one, and fourth one. Which is comfortable with you, you can just take it. 6 opposite they are asking. If you observe first and third diagram carefully, 5 and 3, 5 and 3 are common. When two numbers are common, leftover are going to be opposite. So 6 opposite, there is a number 4, 4 opposite, there is a number 6. Look at the next question. So question which is related to unfolded dice. Whenever you see any question which is given as like this, there is a paper, you have to fold it as a dice. After folding this as a dice, they are going to ask us to find out the opposite face. So now the question is, how many dots are there when how many dots are there for the opposite to the face which is numbered with 3 dots. So when you are solving this type of question, what you can do is, so whenever you see unfolded dice, so just remember any dice you are going to take, any dice which you are going to take. So what is opposite to so in so particular face is there. So for example, this is a face. What is opposite to this? This is opposite to this. So and what are adjacent to this? This is adjacent, back side is adjacent, this side is adjacent. So can I define opposite as like this? Next to adjacent, will be treated as opposite. Next to adjacent will be treated as opposite. That means for this particular face, what is opposite means next to adjacent, next to adjacent, next to adjacent, next to adjacent. So next to adjacent will be treated as opposite. So remember, opposite I am trying to define here as next to adjacent side, next to adjacent side. So adjacent side is very simple, just adjacent to it. So what is opposite to so and so number if it is a question? So you can just try to take that. So this is a diagram. This is an unfolded paper which you are able to see. This is an unfolded paper which you are able to see. So in this unfolded paper, so this is 6, this is 1, this is 3, this is 4, this is 2, this is 5. So 6 is there. So for the number 6, what is adjacent? 1 is adjacent. What is next to adjacent? 3. So we can say 6 and 3 are going to be opposite with each other. Similarly, if you take 4, 2 is adjacent and 5 is what? Opposite. So 4 opposite is going to be 5. And look at this number 1. This is adjacent sides and this is going to be opposite. We can say 1 opposite is going to be 2. 1 opposite is going to be 2. So like that, opposite sides are given. So it's very simple. What we can do is opposite is defined as next to adjacent side. Opposite is defined as next to adjacent side. So let's take one more example to get a clarity. For example, this is a question is given. What is opposite to face N is the question. So start from here. So what is adjacent? R is adjacent. What is the opposite? K opposite is going to be M. So if you start from here, so this is R. What is opposite? This is adjacent. Next to adjacent is opposite. So R opposite will be equal to N. And leftover terms are opposite. Like A and S are going to be opposite with each other. Look at one more question which is based on this. Here we can solve the question by using process of elimination. We can use the elimination method in solving the question. So choose the box which is similar to the this. So if you fold this as a dice, what is the face opposite to so and so is the question. What we can do, so just take F. What is opposite? B is opposite to F as per the data. So F and B should be opposite, but using the diagram one, F and B are adjacent. Eliminate this option. Look at E is available here, C is available here. E and C are going to be opposite with each other. So, but if you observe in option 3, E and C are going to be adjacent. This is definitely not a possible answer. A and D are going to be opposite with each other. If you observe A and D are going to be adjacent here. This is not opposite. So definitely this is not a correct answer. What is the possible answer choice? Answer choice must be option B. So I'm going with the elimination process. What is not opposite as per the data? What is not correct? I'm eliminating that. Leftover is my answer. Leftover is my answer. I hope you are able to get the clarity on it. Thank you so much. See you in the next session. So any tomorrow